Hello buddies, welcome to our new video lecture series based on NCERT books and based on Cbse board syllabus. Today we will be starting with mathematics chapter mathematics for the class 9th and chapter 1. Before starting, let's briefly introduce myself first. So myself Manish Kumar, I did my BTech from IIT Kanpur in civil engineering in 2015. Then I did job and now I am preparing for exams again. So I will be doing teaching part time. So basically the method which we will follow here, we are going to read NCERT book and mark important points, and simultaneously we will be making notes in PPT form, and I will be sharing this PPT and the saved notes on YouTube channel. Okay, please like, share and subscribe my channel. And today we will be starting with our first chapter for class 9, number system. So let's start with the number system. So before knowing about the number system, we must know about number line. So what is number line? So a line which is used to represent various types of numbers. So line which is used to represent various types of number. So we'll draw a line here. We'll mark a 0, which is also origin, and then 1, then 2, then 3 and 4 and so on. And here we'll mark -1, -2, -3 and -4. Like this will go on up to -infinity. So this is our number line where we are representing any number on it. So we can represent any number on it, like we can represent 3/2, we can represent √2, we can represent √3. Like this we can represent any number on the number line. Okay, so this is our number line. So what will you observe here? While moving to the right side, we are taking positive numbers, and while moving to the left side, we are taking negative numbers. So likewise, let's move to the right side, and while moving on the right side, what we are going to get? We are going to encounter natural numbers. Here firstly we are going to encounter natural numbers. So what are these natural numbers? So these natural numbers are set of all. These natural numbers are, one second, yeah. So these natural numbers are set of all non-fractional numbers, from 1 to plus infinity. Be careful here, it's 1 to plus infinity. So while moving on the right side of the number line, so all the non-fractional numbers means where there is no numerator and denominator, and denominator is always 1. So in non-fractional numbers, denominator is equals to 1. So these numbers will be called natural numbers, and the symbols used for to represent this collection of number is n. So n is the set of all non-fractional numbers or set of natural numbers, that is 1 2 3 4 up to plus infinity. Now we'll move next. So here you will observe that there is no 0 in the natural number. So when 0 is included in this set, when 0 is included in the non-fractional number set from 1 in up to plus infinity, that number is called whole number. So the whole number will be represented by W. So the whole number is represented by W. So what are the whole numbers here? 0 1 2 3 4 and so on up to plus infinity. So again, now on the number line, while moving on the right side, then moving again on the left side, what we are going to get are the integers, and they are represented by z. What are integers? So integers are set of all non-fractional numbers. Set of all non-fractional numbers from infinity minus infinity to infinity. Set of all non-fractional numbers from minus infinity to infinity. So this is our number line, this is our minus infinity, and this is our infinity. So likewise we can also represent natural number here. This is our 0, 1, 2, 3. Here 0 is not counted, but in this we are having 0, 1, 2, 3. So these all are counted here in whole number. And in integers we are going to count 1, 2, 3 up to plus infinity, minus 1, minus 2 up to minus infinity. And so all non-fractional numbers, set of all non-fractional numbers from minus infinity to infinity will be called integers. They will be called integers, and they are represented by z. They are represented by z. Fine. So while moving on the again on the number line, we are going to find some fractional numbers, and these fractional numbers or these numbers are called rational numbers. These numbers are called rational numbers. So what are the rational numbers? So rational numbers are denoted by q here. So all real numbers which are not all real numbers. Rational numbers are the real numbers which can be expressed in the form of p by q. Rational numbers are the numbers which can be expressed in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equals to 0 according to NCERT. So you can write from NCERT also that R is called a rational number if it can be written in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equals to 0. So one more thing that you must remember here, that p and q must be in the simplest form. P and q must be in the simplest form. P and q in simplest form, that is common factor only 1. Common factor only 1. P and q must be in the simplest form. All other numbers, all real numbers which are not rational numbers will be called irrational numbers. We can have an example like root 2, root 3, root 5, pi, and so on. So these all numbers are called rational numbers because they cannot be written in the form of p by q. Okay, so these will be called irrational numbers. Okay, now in rational numbers which can be represented in the p by q form, that is called rational number. So here we are going to find some fractions. We are going to find fractions. So what are fractions? Fractions has two things, that is numerator, another is denominator. So what is the upper portion here, the upper part of the division is called numerator and the lower base is called denominator. So this will make a fraction like 2 by 3. So what are the common fractions? Common fractions are those where denominator is not equal to 10. That means denominator is not equals to 10. You can take some example like 2 by 3, 3 by 5, 5 by 6, 4 by 7. Like this we can take many examples, and these are called common fractions. So what are the decimal fractions? Here denominator will be 10 or any power of 10. We can take 1 by 10, 105 by 100, 44 by 1000. So anything, any number divided by 10 or the power of 10, that will make decimal fraction. Now, what are the now again there are some proper fractions. In proper fractions, we are having numerator less than the denominator. What we are having is numerator less than the denominator. Like example, we are having 3 by 5, 2 by 5, 4 by 7. Like this, we can take many examples. What are the improper fraction? In improper fraction, numerator will be greater than denominator. Numerator will be greater than denominator. Like 5 by 3, 4 by 3. We can take many examples like this. Again, we are having mixed fraction. What are the mixed fractions? In mixed fractions, we are having integers and fractions together. We are having integers and fractions together. Like one integer 1 upon 3. So here 1 is an integer, 1 by 3 is an fraction, but both can be, if we combine and solve this, we can write it in the form of 4 by 3. So any improper fraction. So all improper fraction can be written in the form of mixed. All improper fractions can be written in the form of mixed fractions. So what are compound fractions? Compound fractions are those whose numerator and denominator themselves are fractions. So compound fractions are those where numerator and denominator like this, 2 by 3 and 4 by 3. Here numerator is in fraction and denominator is also in the fraction. So this will be called compound fraction. So what we have read till now, that what are the natural numbers, what are whole numbers, integers, rational numbers and irrational numbers if there are fractions. So how many types of fractions can be possible? So we have read about all these things. Let's come to NCERT book. Here we have wrote one fraction here. We are having 1 by 2. This 1 by 2 can be written in many forms, like 2 by 4, 5 by 10, 7 by 14, 98 upon 196. So it can be written in these forms. But what is the simplest form? The simplest form is 1 by 2. So these all other forms are called equivalent rational numbers. These all other numbers like 2 by 4, 5 by 10, 7, they all are representing 1 by 2. So they will be called equivalent rational numbers or fractions. It's called equivalent rational numbers or fractions. So in rational numbers definition, we are going to add some more thing, that P and Q are integers having no common factor other than 1. So P and Q are integers having no common factor other than 1. So here we will add in rational number that P and Q are integers in simplest form, that common factor only 1. Common factor as 1. Common factor as P and Q are integers in the simplest form and common factor as 1. Fine. So these are the some basic numbers that we know. Now again, so we came to know about the real numbers. What are the real numbers? So numbers which can represent any physical quantity, numbers which can represent actual physical quantity. Real numbers are those numbers which represent actual physical quantity, like 1 kg, 1 liter, 5 liter. Like these physical quantities, if you are representing, this is called real numbers. So and they can be represented on a number line. I told you that on a number line we can represent real number. Number line we can represent real number. Number line we can represent 0, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3, like this. Again, now we are going to learn about some other types of number like prime number. What are prime numbers? Prime numbers are those numbers which are having factor as 1 or the number itself. It is factor as 1 or number itself. That means they are divisible by exactly by 1 or themselves. For example, 2. 2 has a factor of 1 and 2. It is 3, factor 1 and 3. So they are divided by either 1 or by themselves. They are divided by 1 or by themselves. They are called prime numbers. So what are the composite numbers? Composite numbers are all natural numbers which are not prime. Composite numbers are all natural numbers which are not prime, and they can be factorized by the prime in form of prime factors. They can factorize into in form of prime factors. You can take 4, it can be written into 2 to 3, like 6 you can write into 2 and 3. 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number. Now the next, we are having co-prime number. Why we are reading this co-prime number and prime number? See, in NCERT book, here it has just silently written that P and Q are co-prime numbers. So until unless we are not knowing prime number, composite number and co-prime numbers, we cannot understand all these things. Okay, so what are the co-prime numbers? Co-prime numbers are the pair of numbers which are having an HCF of 1. So HCF of pair of numbers, that is A and B, is 1. Then A and B are co-prime numbers. And one more thing, that this A and B should not be a prime. Like we can take 4 and 9. Here 4 is not a prime number, 9 is also not a prime number. But when we take HCF, we are going to get 1. Like also we can take 4 and 5. Here 4 is not a prime number, 5 is a prime number, but we are going to get a HCF of 1. And one more thing that we can observe here, that 1 is neither a prime nor a composite number, because 1 has a factor of 1 only and 1 by themselves. So it is not a prime nor a composite number. And any two consecutive number will always be a prime number. So any two consecutive number will always be a prime number. For example, we can take 2 and 3. So the HCF of 2 and 3 is 1. We can take 11 and 12. So the HCF will be 1 here. So any two consecutive number will always be a co-prime. Fine. And last, we can also note down that we can also observe, this is very common here, that 2 is the only prime number. 2 is the only even prime number. 2 is the only even prime number right here. 2 is the only even prime number right here. So what are even numbers? Let's know about it. So what are even numbers? So even numbers are numbers which are divisible by 2. So even numbers are the numbers which are divisible by 2. So like we can say any number which is divisible by 2 is called even numbers, like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, like this. These all numbers are even numbers, and this is generally represented by 2n. This is represented by 2n, where n is an integer. So when we put 2 into 1, we are going to get 2. 2 into minus 2, we are going to get 4. So here 1 and 2, they are integers, and when multiplied by 2, they are going to give us an even number. So here even number can be represented by 2n. Likewise, odd numbers are the numbers which are not divisible by 2, and they are represented by 2n minus 1. 2n minus 1. So here when we are putting n equals to 1, so 2 into 1 minus 1 equals to 1, 2 into 2 minus 1 equals to 3. So what we are going to get here are numbers which are not divisible by 2, that means the odd numbers. Here we are going to get even number. So what are odd numbers and even numbers? We understood that the even number is represented by 2n and odd number is represented by 2n minus 1. So these are the basic numbers that we must remember before studying anything in the mathematics for the future purpose. So, in the next class we will be reading about various the next topic, like rational number between two numbers, representation of rational numbers on number line, and representation of irrational numbers on the number line also. We will be taking it in the subsequent classes. And here we are I have noted down few questions for you. You can go at home and try all these questions, and if you are finding any doubt here, just write in the comment. And if you are having doubt from anywhere else also, you can take a pick of that question, and you can also post it in my comment, and I will try to answer those questions in one video lecture exclusively. Okay, so coming to the NCERT book, here we are. So we have covered up to here. Let's solve some questions. So here we are having 3 questions here. Every whole number is a natural number. Every whole number. What are whole numbers? 0, 1, 2, 3. These are whole numbers. What are natural numbers? 1, 2, 3. So all whole numbers are not natural number here. Why? Because 0 is not a natural number. So 0 is not a natural number. So this statement is not true. It's false statement. Every whole number is not a natural number because 0 is not a natural number here. Every integer is a rational number. Every integer is a rational number. What are integers? First, integers are those where denominator equals to 1. Denominator equals to 1. So we can write any integer like 2 like this. 2 divided by 1. 5 divided by 1. So here 2 divided 1. What are you going to observe? That is, it is written in the form of p by q, where p equals to 2, q equals to 1, p equals to 5 and q equals to 1. So every integer is a rational number. So any number which can be represented in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers having common factor none other than 1, and q is not equals to 0, that is called rational number. So this statement is true. Okay, now every rational number is an integer. Every rational number. So it's telling about every rational number. So any rational number can be written in the form of p by q. That means we can take one example like 2 by 3. Here 2 by 3, where 2 is an integer, 3 is an integer. They are not having common factor other than 1, and also q is not equals to 0. It is a rational number, but it's not an integer. 2 by 3 is not an integer. It is a fraction. So every rational number is an integer. It's not true. So it will be false. So you can see the solution also, and you can solve it by yourself also. So similarly, what you are going to do, state true or false here with suitable examples. You are going to write whether this statement is true or false, and if it is false, why, and if it is true, you can give some examples also. Thank you for attending this lecture.